So this is the one that you are using. Okay, so I'm gonna provide some feedback and just to give that context. So let's see. I think the order is fine because at first I was going to say technical skills should go above education, but because you are looking to you're looking to like kind of you're looking to switch careers, it does make sense that you are that you want to mention the fact that you are doing like instruction design now and whatnot. Okay, so that's cool. So this is your resume so far. Okay, the first thing that comes to mind is that there's just some text, some basic font inconsistencies with the experience section on this page versus page 2. So for example, we have the company, the location, and then the role that you had. One thing I would say you should do here is to make sure that it's the same format as well. So maybe it's just a case of unbolding this because I wasn't sure which one was at first glance was the company. It's clear this is the company, so unbold that and that, of course, and that's the role. That makes sense. Let me see, I'm just making sure there's nothing else that comes to mind. Right, the other thing that I'm kind of a little bit confused about is how in these roles, is this all at the same organization? If it is, then I think you need to reword how you're showing promotions because you have these 3, 4, 5. You have these 5 bullet points here, and then you have, I guess, the role you had before with these. So this is from January till now. So it should kind of be in reverse chronological order. So you should have this role up here first, and then the role that you had before you got promoted below it. And then as for these bullet points, it would be best if you kind of move these into these two here as well. So it's at the very least consistent on that front. I can see you also showed when you did the different roles too. The only other thing I could say is maybe the experience section is a little bit too wordy with the bullets. And one thing I do like is that you are showing impact, which is great. The other thing that comes to mind for me is when you say things like leading to a 25% boost in user engagement, or 20% increase in course completion rates, or 15% decrease in user technical issues, it would be good to give a sense of what the average number is, because percentages on their own don't provide enough context. And so having the number, so what was the increase before, what was the number before, and then what was the number afterwards, I think is important because it does add a little bit more clarity and context into what you did. And the other thing as well with your bullet point, so here you say optimize course settings and facilitated user access. This is a little bit generic. I'm curious as to what was it specifically in the course settings that you did that wasn't done before, that was leading to poor course completion rates and technical issues. So that's also something that I would be curious about too. So yeah, exactly what I just said for that example. I think you should go through the others and make sure that they all have that layer of context of like before and after numbers as well. But for the most part, I mean, I'm not an educator, but at first glance, this does seem awesome. The other thing that I probably might suggest you do is maybe rework the format just a little bit, because I think the content, there's a lot of content which is great, but it's all packed into one space, so they could make for hard to read. Just from a readability perspective, I think it could be a little bit difficult. So examples that I've kind of either used myself and or with other people. So ignore that. I said the person. We don't want to talk about him too much. But these are like 3 resume examples that I've seen that I think are pretty cool. So this, what they call the Harvard style, where you've got like your executive summary, and then your experience section, your title, name of the company, and then the date. It's a perfect balance between having, you could see they've included the name, the title, and then the date when that occurred on one line, but separate from each other, so it's not so boxed in. And there's some line spacing or paragraph spacing between each bullet point, and each bullet point is ideally on one line, and they don't stretch over to 2 lines. I think that's something. They also use like separators here as well. So that's definitely one format. Second format is a more of a modern one. In most cases, I'm not like a fan of this one, just because as someone who has a lot of experience in the resume, it's just going to make your resume look even more bulky. But that being said, I do like how they've done the skills section. So they have the name of the skill, but instead of having level proficient, I would recommend that you have like a supporting statement that shows you actually have that skill. So that's something that I would definitely recommend. Is the modern one. And then the last one, which is my favorite one, is the clean style. So it's got name, the title that you're trying to go for, your personal details, then summary, and then you have your summary section. I do think the summary section in general is too long anyway. So in your case, I think it was pretty similar, wasn't it? Yeah, could probably find ways to shorten it if possible, but include it like that. The white space helps to break up like the text, and also it gives mental breathing room to the user who is reading the resume as well. And the way that it's laid out again is something that's quite clean. So that's something that I can recommend for you. The other question I do have is you need a role immediately, and you probably don't have the funds to spend on something like this, but we do a resume rewrite service as well. So if that's something that's of interest to you, let me know. And maybe on this occasion, I would give you like a sizable discount. Because I can see that you are like in this regard, and I do want to make you successful. Maybe it would also be ideal if you a cheaper version would be to join our Career Accelerator program. And as I said, like the one thing to know about the Career Accelerator program, it's $59 a month, so you don't pay the whole thing all the way through. It's $59 a month for 12 months, and you get to join the group, and we get to help you go through the whole thing. And as part of being in the group is you get the resume rewrite for free in addition to that. So rather than us charging you, $300 to do the whole resume for you, which we would do, when you're part of this program, you would just get that as part of this. So once you join, after 7 days has passed and the first payment is made of $59, then we will just rewrite your resume for you, as that's one of the core things that needs to be done. And I can explain a little bit more about what our process is like to that. But yeah, let me know what you think on that regard. But those are all the tips that I currently have right now for what you've produced. I do think you have a really strong career, and I'm surprised that no one is hiring you like this, because I think you're great, so to speak. And so maybe it's just a case of reworking how it's laid out, and maybe I'll need to take a look at some of the applications that you are actually making. And that's something that we do as part of the Job Search Accelerator program. Let me know if that's of interest to you. But again, I'm just going to take a look at some of these roles as an example for going for. Okay. It doesn't even seem like they're asking for the world. So it does, at first glance, it does seem like what you're looking for is what they're asking for is what you have. So I wonder if it's a timing issue. It could be that as well. But yeah, that's something that we can help with. Let me know what you think of everything we've said, and get back to me as soon as you can, and we can do our best to try and get you something soon. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the week, and take care, Abby. I'll see you soon. Bye.